Thomas and Friends Club Off the Rails. Gordon was resting in a siding. Peep, 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 peep. Hello, fat face, whistled Henry. What, Cheek? Sputtered Gordon. That Henry is too big for his wheels. Fancy speaking to me like that. Me, he went on, letting off steam. Me, who has never had an accident. Aren't jammed with whistles and burst safety valves accidents? Asked Percy innocently. No, indeed, Gordon, huffily. High spirits might happen to any engine, but to come off the rails, well, I ask you, is that right? Is it decent? A few days later, it was Henry's turn to take the express. Gordon watched him getting ready. Be careful, Henry, he said. You're not pulling the flying kipper now. Watch that you keep on the rails today. Henry snorted away. Gordon yawned and went to sleep. But he didn't sleep long. Wake up, Gordon, said his driver. A special train's coming, and we're to pull it. Gordon opened his eyes. Is it coaches or freight cars? Freight car, said his driver. Freight car, said Gordon crossly. Pah! They lit Gordon's fire and oiled him to get ready for the run. The fire was sulky and wouldn't burn. But they couldn't wait, so Edward pushed him to the turntable to get him facing the right way. I won't go, grumbled Gordon. Don't be silly, puffed Edward. Gordon tried hard, but he couldn't stop himself from being moved. At last he was on the turntable. Edward was uncoupled and backed away, and Gordon's driver and fireman jumped down to turn him around. The movement had shaken Gordon's fire. It was now burning nicely and making steam. Gordon was cross and didn't care what he did. He waited till the turntable was halfway around. I'll show them. He hissed and moved slowly forward. He only meant to go a little way, just far enough to jam the turntable and stop it from turning, as he had done once before. But he couldn't stop himself and slithered down the embankment and settled in a ditch. Oos, he hissed as his wheel turned in the mud. Get me out! Not a hope, said his driver and fireman. You're stuck, you silly engine. Don't you understand that? They telephoned Sir Topham Hatt. So Gordon didn't want to take the special and ran into a ditch. He answered from his office. What's that, you say? The special's waiting. Tell Edward to take it, please. And Gordon? Oh, leave him where he is. We haven't time to bother with him now. A family of toads croaked crossly at Gordon as he lay in the mud. On the other side of the ditch, some little boys were chattering. Oh, doesn't he look silly? They'll never get him out. They began to sing. Silly old Gordon fell in a ditch, Silly old Gordon fell in a ditch, all on a Monday morning. The school bell rang, and still singing, they chased down the road. Psst, said Gordon, and he blew away 3 tadpoles and an inquisitive newt. Gordon lay in the ditch all day. Oh dear, he thought, I shall never get out. But that evening they brought floodlights. Then with powerful jacks they lifted Gordon and made a road of sleepers under his wheel to keep him from the mud. Strong wire ropes were fastened to his back end, and James and Henry, pulling hard, at last managed to bring him to the rails. Late that night, Gordon crawled home a sadder and wiser engine.